Yay! Welcome everyone. How are you today? I'm Sarah Rose, and I am the Launch Your Online Business Specialist, coming to you live from Charleston, South Carolina. I love coaching and helping ambitious women all over the world, just like you, to launch your online business, create your dream online business, earn what you're worth, and live a life you love. And today joining me is the beautiful, fabulous Shakima. And tell us more about you and what you do. And then we're going to get into a little bit of strategy and soul as empowered entrepreneurial fempreneurs, and share some of our top tips with you who are tuning in with us.
Awesome. So I'm Shakima Clark Chapman. I am a local real estate agent here in Charleston, South Carolina. I'm also an author of the book, Possess the Land, The Believer's Guide to Home Buying. Been an entrepreneur, I cannot believe it, going on 9 years. It was 9 years ago that I walked away from my 9 to 5 and joined what I call the Water Walking Fool Club. Just out here living on faith, and it is faith, but there's some strategies behind the faith as well, because faith without works is dead. So that's pretty much about me. I like to stay actively engaged in the community as well. So I host annually a conference for girls, just kind of my give back, because I strongly believe when you're put in these platforms, it's so important that you take the time to reach back and pull our little girls up.
I love that. The hand up, yes. So I love what you said, that faith without works is dead, because one of my things that I talk about a lot is the law of attraction plus the law of action is where the magic happens. And so our audience,
you got to give God something to work with.
Exactly. And our audience is probably an ambitious woman who is looking to either start or scale her business and take it to the next level. Maybe she's in a place where she really, really knows she's meant for more. She's ready to be, do, and have it all. And she's looking for those next steps to get on her path and walk in her purpose. So when you were just getting started in your business, what kind of was your breaking point of saying, you know what, I'm done with what I'm doing. I know I was meant for more, and I've got to make a change. I've got to do something different.
Yeah. I always say you either leap into your destiny or you're pushed.
Yes.
And I was definitely pushed, because sort of the message that I always received all my life was, make sure you have a good job, go to college, make sure you have a good job. And I did that. I had a very good, secure job. I actually had a really good job starting in the position. It was so exciting. I got to travel, visit places I probably never would have gone before. I've been to Utah. I don't know too many people in Utah, and places like Iowa, just different places, traveling, consulting with nonprofit organizations. But over time, the job that I love literally made me sick. It was the stress and the pressure behind it got to the point where I found myself sitting on a table in a doctor's office being prescribed depression medication. And I just sitting there and listening, and the doctor, she's telling me about these pills I need to take. And in my mind, and not that I'm against medication, I just said to myself, I am not going to take a pill to go to work every day. There has to be more to life than this. So started on a journey of discovery, started with a book, The Purpose-Driven Life, and really digging through that book and through prayer and meditation during that period, hearing clearly the plans that God had for me, that however I was afraid because I'm like, okay, God, let's get this straight. I know on the 1st and the 15th, I'm going to get paid. I know this for a fact. This real estate stuff, I don't know how that's going to work. So I tried to hang in there, but the more I tried to hang in there, it just seemed like things got worse. I found myself, even in my home life, I was snapping at everyone in the house. It just was not a good scene. And I've talked to my husband. I said, I think I'm gonna quit my job. He said, I wish you would, because we can't live in here with you like this. But I was so fearful. So what I ended up doing was taking a medical leave. And taking that time, I started working on some things in the background. I came back to work for a few months, and then I found myself back in that place. So they made me mad one week, and I wrote my resignation letter, and then the next week I finally sent it. And so now I'm out here, and I'm like, this has to work now because I don't have any other choice. I don't have anything to fall back on. So I was pushed. I didn't necessarily take the leap. It really was at a point where it just wasn't healthy for me any longer.
And
Things
now,
that would, yeah, things that should have taken me 5 minutes to do would take me all day. And now, looking back, I understand that that was all part of my depression. And depression is a real thing. A lot of times we think we're just sad, but chemically our bodies are just all out of whack. And that's where I found myself.
so we have a very similar story with that, Ben. Are you still taking the depression medication?
I'm not. I took it for a couple of weeks, couple of months. Mine was more situational depression, and it was. And what I discovered, and at first I, blamed on the job, but it wasn't the job. It was me in the job. I believe in life we have seasons. In my season there was up. I went there. I learned I learned a lot about business and how to manage business and how to connect with people. So that's why I was there. And once that time was up, I tried to hang on longer than God intended me to. And so I found myself in the belly of the whale like Jonah. And so it was like, okay, God, I get it. It's time to go.
Yes.
So I don't take it any longer.
Right. And we're not saying to our viewers, like, get off of it. If you need to be on it, you need to be on
right.
it. I was in the doctor's office about a year and a half ago, same situation, sitting on the table and going, this is what's wrong. Took a few tests and came back with a severe anxiety disorder that they said you got to take this medication for. And so I was the same way. I was like, I really don't want to take anything, but I'll take it as needed, haven't taken it. And as long as I can remember now, and it's something that you just said that really resonates, is that I think when you have clarity and when you have direction and you have purpose and a vision that's bigger than just yourself, how can I help other people? How can I be the beacon of light in somebody else's darkness and show them that there is another way, that there is a better way, that there is this life out there that is available if you're ready to take that leap of faith, to have belief in yourself and also in your higher power. And sometimes you just have to get quiet. You got to just get quiet and sit and listen to the thoughts that come to you. And as they come, you got to take action on them.
And that's that listening part, because as I shared with you, part of that process, as I went through the purpose-driven life, I actually did it with a group of friends, and we fasted during that period as well. And that's where I really started to get into meditation. And a lot of times, in my faith, people think of meditation as spooky. It's really just quieting yourself and listening. And so just really rising early in the morning and just listening and journaling. Journaling was huge for me. So I'm also one of those, what I call temper tantrum Christians, because as I'm going through this, I'm like, God, what do you want from me? Why am I going through this? And he spoke very clearly. He speaks to me through journaling. And so I still have those journals, and it was like a laid out plan, but you're right. It is getting to that quiet place, because the Holy Spirit is a gentleman, and he's not going to compete with your busy life. And so I know a lot of times we say that we don't have time. I'm telling you, you have to make time. I don't care if it's 15 minutes in the morning, getting in that quiet space. Even now, a lot of people try to tell me I'm busy. I'm like, no, I'm not busy. I'm productive, because I know how to center myself. And, starting that way just really creates the path for my entire day, because I'm going to get clear direction when I sit down and be quiet. Now, I know when I haven't done it because I feel the chaos, but just sitting, and I think it's harder for us as women because we take care of so many things and so many people. We don't take that time for ourselves, and it's critical
It
that
is.
we do that for ourselves.
It is. And so many times you hear this word or the term self-care being thrown around, and we think, oh, maybe that means I got to have a bubble bath or go get my nails done or go get my hair done. But it's more of taking just 15 minutes for yourself in the
Mhm.
morning to get your head on straight, get yourself
Mhm.
in this like high vibe place where you're feeling good and your mindset is intact and you're feeling balanced and in alignment with your mission and what you're looking to
And
accomplish.
you get to use your own brain for 15 minutes because once everyone else in the house wakes up, you got to share your brain with everyone else.
And your energy and everything else. And it's true, you cannot pour from an empty cup. And so if we don't
Yes.
put ourselves up first as women, we're not going to be the best version of ourselves for our families, for our kids, for our communities,
Mhm.
for our teams, for our clients. We have to be the best version of ourselves first so that then we can give more value to those
Exactly.
that we
And I
love.
love that. Another friend of mine says that all the time. You cannot pour from an empty cup. And that is so true.
It is true. Let's talk also about personal growth and development because you mentioned
Okay.
the purpose-driven life, and I am a personal growth and development junkie. Because
Yeah. So
also,
am I.
maybe not so secret anymore, but a book hoarder. I just love filling that good stuff in because then it's good stuff out again for our kids, for our families, for our clients, for our customers, whatever. So when you started off on your journey, did you go searching for the answers? And how did that book come to you? And did you carry on your personal growth development journey? It wasn't just a one-time thing.
Oh, it's definitely. I'm a personal development junkie as well. I would say, that kind of helped me get more clear on my purpose. Another book that I love, I call it the Entrepreneur's Textbook, The Dream Giver by Bruce Wilkinson. That one was huge for me as well to kind of show the journey that an entrepreneur goes to. But I am constantly in training. I'm coached now. I started out with a business coach. That was the best decision that I ever made. And a lot of people look at coaching and when they're investing in their business, and they think about products, they think about investing in services, they think about investing in marketing, but they forget to invest in their most important asset, which is themselves. So I've always been used coaches, always, because I feel like why reinvent the wheel? If this person's already taken this road, they can help me get there a lot faster and quicker. And then I also get very intentional that I attend conferences every year. And I'm telling you, I will get on a plane by myself and fly across the country to go to a conference and be around in my profession, other real estate agents, to get new ideas, fresh thoughts, and just to really take the time to work on my business because you're constantly working in it. And then I'm always, I have two of my good friends. We're always exchanging books of what we're reading. So in my car, a lot of times as a real estate agent, you're in your car, I'm listening to audio books because when you're in this, what I call water walking fool world, you have to constantly renew your mind. And I've read, books hundreds of pages long, but if I just get one good idea from that book, I've won.
Yes, absolutely. And I love what you just said. I'm the same. I've never been afraid of investing in myself or my business, and got business coaches as well. And that's what made me want to go down that path, was to help other
Mhm.
women who were looking for the answers that I didn't have. I was like, please share with me, how do I do this?
Right.
How do I bring my business into the online space? How do I help more people? How do I fulfill my mission? I can only do so much. But when somebody gives you the blueprint and says, here's how you go and do it,
Mhm.
it's the shortest. There's only one shortcut to success. And I believe that is to find the mentor or the coach who has achieved what you were looking to achieve.
Right. Now, my coaches will tell you I'm probably not the easiest person to coach. I eventually listen, sometimes when they're like, oh gosh, you have me out my comfort zone. So sometimes I go kicking and screaming, but I go eventually. And I like my first business coach, Lavonda Watson, I have to give her a huge shout out because she was huge in my development. I used to always tell her, I may not like you, but I will forever love you. And there were a lot of times I did not like her, but she stretched me. And that's exactly what a coach is intended to do, is to stretch you. And I would encourage, entrepreneurship can be a lonely journey if you allow it to be. And so I think too, having that coach also created community, a sense of community that's also essential in your growth as well.
Well, it is. Absolutely. I agree. And I was just taking some notes on what you were saying, but I love also that you're listening in your car as you're going. And I say this as well to my team and my clients, is that you want to turn your car into a rolling classroom, because that is time that, you can just be listening to the radio or music or what, rocking out, which is cool too. You want to have some empowering music sometime to kind of keep your vibe going or raise your vibe or whatever. But I mean, I'm always listening to a podcast or YouTube video or something that I can better myself, because then I'm worth more. I have more value to add, and I can help more people with the information that I'm learning, as well as the experiences that come through life, which is another thing too, right?
Yes.
That's what people align with. They want to know, what is your experience, and sharing your story along the journey too is what makes people really relate to you. And relatability is something that's so important. And
I did that haphazardly, didn't even realize it. Just being on social media, I kind of shared my journey as I went along, and was definitely sure to remain transparent too. I think especially as women entrepreneurs, we feel the need, the pressure to make it seem like everything is always okay. And it's okay to say, hey, I'm not okay. And failure is a part of this journey, and to fail forward and share your failures, because people can learn from those failures. I think oftentimes we do one another a huge disservice when we pretend like, hey, it's all sunshine and roses 24/7, because that's just not reality. So I'm definitely try to be transparent. Now, you can't be transparent with everyone, because not everyone, there are literally people, I'm well aware, hey haters, if you're still out there are people that are watching you and waiting on you to fail. But I find that there are far more people that are for you and cheering you on. And I think they can relate to you when you're more relatable and real about some of the challenges that you face.
Well, and I think just owning your authenticity and being yourself. When I started on my journey, I would copy other people in the industry and be like, oh, well, this worked for them, it should work for me too. Well, I mean, crickets, honey, like you got to be you and put yourself out there, and overcoming some fear and really working on your confidence. But you do you, and that's when people are like, I love her stuff, I totally resonate with that, and that's somebody that I want to bring on as my realtor or my coach or my whatever. It's just being authentic. And then I think in doing that, you avoid that imposter syndrome.
Yes.
Well, why would anybody want to listen to me? I'm not on 6 figures or 7 figures yet, or I'm just getting started. But what I say is that if you've taken that first step onto your path, you're walking in your purpose, even if you're terrified, you've taken that first step and owned it, that you've been called to follow this dream in your heart. You're that much further than somebody who's just still sitting there on the fence going, do I really have what it takes to do this?
Yeah, you're definitely right. You can only be you and be the best at being you. If God took the time to make sure that our fingerprints were unique, why would he expect us all to be the same?
And what a boring What a boring
if you think about it, and I definitely can relate to that. There are almost 7,000 real estate agents in our area. And there are so many examples that you can use, but I I did it my way. You know, I was given a lot of information, and I'm not adverse to learning on how I should do things. And I'm like, that's not going to work for me. Literally given scripts of, how to make a phone call. And I'm like, if I call my friends, they're going to know that that is not how I talk. And so I just really built my business off of being myself, being genuine and maintaining relationships and building those relationships. And I mean, I teach that method, but I still, even the agents that I teach it in a way that they can still craft it to be who they are, because we're all unique. We're all going to do, and a client is going to choose you based on who you are and not a copycat version.
Well, it's the like, know, and trust factor. As
Yes.
people get to know you, as you're sharing your journey along the way, people go, okay, you know what, I really like that about her. And I was going through that too. And now, I see that I can get out of this. If she could do it, I can do it too. Right.
Right.
So I think that's that like, know, and trust factor. And then that's when people want to buy it from you. They want to do business with you. They want to align with you. And that's where we go. Well, I loved our chat today. I know you've got not busy, but a productive afternoon as well.
Productive. I'm never busy, always productive.
Where can people find you if they're looking for an amazing realtor who's going to be able to get them into their dream home and somebody fun to work with?
Well, a couple places on all social media channels. We are the Chapman Group SC. And that would be Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, as well as Instagram. And then on our website, thechapmangroupsc.com. And I can't wait. We're doing some really good branding stuff. And I'm going to be coming out doing even a new video blog series that I'm super excited about. So you can start by following us on our social media channels to get hooked into some great things we're going to be doing. I don't want to give too much away because we're still building it. And that's definitely where they can find me. And then if you're ever in Park Circle, we're located at 1081 East Montague Avenue.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today. And I've got a free masterclass that I just recorded 2 days ago that is a lot of the similar information that we're talking about today. So if you want to go more in depth on my 3 secrets to gain confidence, leverage, and income, you can listen to that. It's free, and sorry, my dog's right here. And and I'll pop that link in the comments below as well. So thank you again, Shakima. I'm so glad we got to know each other, and we'll keep in good touch. And thanks you all for watching us today. Bye.
Bye. Take care.
You too.